Right, anyway, that's really boring. Can you talk about some of the stuff you were talking about before we rolled the camera?
I don't know, yeah.
Talk about Gary's demand for San Pellegrino.
It's not a demand.
No, not a
People
demand.
said
It wasn't.
this to me
It was a
before.
request. It wasn't a demand, actually. You're right.
If someone asks me, I'm going to a shop, what would you like? San Pellegrino water, please.
I'm quite impressed you've got like high standards like that. I didn't have you down as...
Only with the water.
Yeah.
It's, literally, as I was leaving the house, I thought I could have done with bringing a drink. So.
Yeah, I've got a shop.
The people at the spa, like, they know me really well now, but I only go in for discounted stuff, so they thought I picked it by mistake. They were like, that's not yellow stickers.
Must be going on a date.
Yeah. That's what they thought. Are we rolling, by the way?
We are rolling.
Oh, sorry.
We haven't really started.
Yeah.
Is that your stomach?
Yeah, I should have got 2 bacon sandwiches.
I was going to say. What are we doing for lunch, spa?
Yeah, we're going to have to hit the spa, aren't we?
Is it all spas up here? Do you have co-ops?
I wanted
what
a
else do
co-op
you have?
actually. Yes, I was hoping that we'd get one. We've got one in Gargrave, but it's like 15-20 minutes away.
Yeah.
But you were saying, was it a spa in...
That Pathelli one,
Yeah.
it's next level, yeah.
I need to go to that. If
Lobster, dry-aged steak, I mean...
that's just next level, isn't it? They've also, at our spa, they've got this competition now where you scan a QR code and every day you can be in this like draw to win prizes. Oh, mate, I'm addicted.
I was going to say,
Honestly,
you must be the only one in it.
I'm in it every single day. Like, honestly, I've been on it and I've been winning like cans of Monster and like packets of crisps. This morning I won one and it was £5 off a £25 shop, which is the best one I've got so far. How have you been, mate?
It's been really good, mate, the last couple of weeks, but gone really quick since we had the National Running Show, to be honest. But straight back into it. We have had kids clubs. My lad's big into the boxing at the minute. She's into football, so that's took up a lot of my time. But I've also did you watch The Traitors? I forgot to ask you about this.
Mate, I'm all over The Traitors. Loved it. Addicted. It was on at the time of the National Running Show, wasn't it? And
yeah.
I had to try and avoid certain conversations with people I knew were into it because it was the final that weekend.
Yeah.
And I saved it for the Sunday night when I got home. Fell asleep, but I watched it on the Monday morning. You know the result now, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to ruin it for you.
Oh no, yeah, that's one of the only shows because like at first I thought, Charlotte's just racked a few up here, but I forgot that it's on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, isn't it? So I quite like that. Get them done kind of thing. And she's a massive fan of it, so I don't mind watching that at all because I'm into it. But I also don't mind waiting because I can avoid results because I just work from home. She has to go into an office.
And people are talking about it, aren't they?
So that's one of the only shows where Charlotte put her foot down and say, no, we're watching this in real time. Yeah.
It's so good, isn't it? I mean, my favourite bit so far was right at the beginning where Linda, who was a traitor, when Claudia said, just traitors, and she just turned around like that and just basically revealed herself in the first
I just
5
thought,
seconds.
I'm either missing something here. Like, she is she's the traitor, right?
Yeah.
I know they must have edited it to make her look more like a traitor, maybe, but
it was good.
I just thought, some of these people are just donuts.
Oh, completely.
And it's, it ended up being some good characters in it. I was a little bit worried at first. I thought, is this going to be a good series? But I think just that they make it good. And I've got a soft spot for Claudia as well.
Yeah,
Charles knows
Claudia.
about that, but so it's all right.
She's really grown into that role even more, hasn't she? She's become like totally immersed in that character, hasn't she, now?
Yeah, she's good on it. I'm not a bigger fan of the other some of the other countries. I've tried them, but yeah.
Yeah, who's the American one? I can't remember the name of the guy. I can't get into it.
I can't get into it. He's
too
more
over the top, isn't he?
Like a pantomime kind
villain
of character.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Would you go on it?
The Traitors? Yeah, I'd like to do The Traitors, but I wouldn't like to be a traitor.
No, that was my next question to you. I don't think I could handle the pressure.
Oh, the thing is, I think it's very hard to win as a traitor. The one in the previous series, he was great, but I'd love hunting the little fuckers, to be honest.
Outing them.
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love that. Do you
reckon you'd be able to work it out just based on the fact
I don't know if I'd be any good at working it out, but I would enjoy doing that more than trying to pull the wool over everyone's eyes. Because
what I'd like to do for the next series, or what I'd like them to do for the next series, is not tell us who the traitors are, and we have to guess.
I always thought that'd be quite good.
Yeah, maybe they're saving that as a concept, because these things get a bit repetitive, don't they? And I think you've got to mix it up a little bit. Like this time, they had a thing right at the end where you were able to ask somebody if they were a traitor. Did you see that at the end? It was like a
Yeah,
power. I can't remember. What
that
was it?
didn't work, did it? Because
no,
the person
the
they
seer,
picked.
that was it, and they picked the wrong person.
Yeah.
And didn't ruin the game, but it ruined her game,
kind
didn't
of
it?
did ruin it,
Yeah.
didn't
Don't
it?
you think Darren Brown would absolutely smash it on that?
Probably,
Definitely
yeah.
work on it. Do you know I worked on the first series?
No?
Yeah, I did a little drone work on the
Of
first
really?
series.
traitors.
Yeah,
Oh
on
yeah, you
traitors,
did. Yeah.
Tell you what, Chris has done some serious stuff and he's come down to a level to film us, hasn't he? What, he's been working on Clarkson's Farm, Traitors, Molly May. What's the other stuff?
Keeps that drone steady in here, doesn't he?
I've even filmed Gary with a drone once or twice.
The one thing I've got about it though, someone might put me straight on this. They get a traitor and then they just recruit someone. Right?
Yeah.
So they're all obsessed with getting the traitors. What's the point?
Yeah.
Because until there's a couple of them left, they just keep getting someone else in as a traitor.
That's true. Yeah.
So that bit I don't understand. I'm sure someone will put me straight on this, but from what I can see is like you catch a traitor, they're replaced by someone, and that just keeps happening until there's either 1 or 2 or 3 traitors left. But anyway.
Do you reckon you're best
traitors.
like proving yourself as a faithful and then getting pulled in as a traitor right at the end? So no, like, a bit like what Charlotte did this time. If it hadn't been for the seer rule that they put in, she might have won it, I reckon.
I don't know if they've not already done it, but I think, as I'm sure it'll pop up now. You can go and play the traitors as a group of friends.
Yeah,
that'd be quite good.
That's the thing
wouldn't it?
now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely. Probably do that. Anyway, I should probably introduce this episode, shouldn't I? So
Thought you had. Thought this was the traitors episode.
oh yeah, we could be. Well, I reckon we could probably
Running
get an hour out of this,
traitors.
couldn't we? Oh yeah, that would be good.
Save
Wouldn't it?
that one, mate.
Yeah, for another one. Yeah, welcome to the RUNcensored podcast with me, Ben Mountay, and the one and only Gary House. Here again, back in Threshfield on my demands, my terms. I had a lie-in this morning. You guys had to get up very early this morning, so I appreciate that. Again, not trying to make it all about me, but thank you for travelling
All
all
right,
this
mate.
way.
You know, when you gave us the list of desirables, it was
I mean, I bought you some San Pellegrino,
I
which
can't say anything,
sort
can I?
of makes up for it. It did pay me to pay £1.70 for that big bottle because, as I said before to you, like I'm a yellow sticker man in the spa. They thought I'd picked up that by mistake, so they almost didn't serve me. But it is quite nice. It is the best water, isn't it?
It is the best water. It's we've had this conversation briefly, but I know you didn't think I was being serious. That is, if someone asks me, I'm going to the shop, what do you need? I'll always ask for that.
Yeah, no, it's a cut above, mate. It's a cut above. Also, I know in the last few episodes, the dogs were running around and it was a bit of an issue because they were barking. I mean, put them in another room. They're with Kirsty today. She's working next door in the kitchen. But she hasn't
been banished as well.
She's not been banished. But she did say to me, because I've got a few parcels being delivered today, I bought this North Face Denali jacket for 30 quid off Vinted, so I'm waiting for that to be delivered. But I know that as soon as the lady comes to deliver the parcel and someone knocks on that door, the dogs are going to go mental. So I've put a sign on the front door today saying, filming in progress. Please don't knock, leave the parcels here. But then I've just realised...
Curtains drawn as well.
Curtains are drawn. People know me around here and they're going to start to think, because they just know me and Kirsty live here, I think they're going to think we're filming some sort of X-rated video, which is my worry now. And the sign's there, I can't move, and I'm worried people are going to think that. Also, my van's not parked outside, so they might even think, well, Kirsty's away. They've seen you come into the house, so maybe they think me and you are filming some sort of video together. Not the podcast, because people around here don't know about that. Or maybe they think I'm on my own with the dogs, which is even worse, isn't it? After the cow story, people won't put anything past me, would they?
No, this you're going to get a reputation for yourself, mate.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I've put it out there.
I saw the sign. Anyone that's you won't see this in real time, but if people on my Instagram story will be thinking the same. Gary's turned up to some kind of sex party.
I should have been more descriptive about what we were doing, but anyway, it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, this episode is all about. We were going to recap on the national running show, weren't we?
We were, yeah. I know you asked me how I've been since and stuff because it's not too long after, but yeah, we'll get cracking with the national running show, I think.
Because we were both there this time.
We were, yeah, not as a couple, but we were there.
We did have plans. I mean, those plans were ruined by a few people, but I mean, we'll talk about that as well. I suppose the first place to start is like what is the National Running Show all about? Because it's actually the first time I've ever been.
Was it?
Yeah. I mean, you've been a few times, haven't you?
Yeah, I think it was my 4th year of attending, probably, and I've done a couple of talks on each one. I think I've done 7 or 8 talks there. I've never been as a punter. I think I went to the first one. If it wasn't the first one, it was the second one. And I remember speaking to Mike, the CEO, Seaman. That's not his nickname. Mike Seaman, who is the CEO. After the first, I think it was the first one, and I remember because I like Mike, and he always asks for feedback and stuff, and he's heavily involved in the running community as well. But when he rang me in the end, or I rang him, can't remember which. I was in Euro Disney. Oh, Charlotte keeps telling me off. It's Disneyland Paris, whatever. Euro Disney from the 80s, giving him feedback on the show. So he's obviously really open to feedback and stuff. And I've been back, like I say, 4th year, and some things change, some things don't change. Yeah, it's. I'll be interested to hear what you think of it coming in as a latecomer, really.
Yeah, I mean, I've been down to do similar trade shows before. I've been to the outdoor show last year, and that was busy, but this was busy on another level.
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe
30,000, they reckon,
how
over
many
the
people
weekend.
were there. Yeah, and I mean, we were both there in different roles as well. You were there doing a talk, a couple of talks actually, weren't you? On the Saturday, I was there on the Saturday and the Sunday with Merrill, kind of working the stand, showing people the new latest range of shoes in collaboration with Sports Shoes. So we were retailing, but not with physical stock, just kind of trying to get online sales. We had iPads and things there. But we just didn't stop all weekend. I mean, it was like Saturday was just obscenely busy. I had my breakfast at, I think, 7 in the morning, and then I didn't eat until 3:30 just because I literally
it's
didn't have a
easily
break.
done there.
Oh, mate.
In previous years, I've done that because I've got up. It's a couple of hours drive. I always ask to do the Saturday morning or mid-afternoon, and then you're right. You start speaking to people, and then all of a sudden you haven't eaten, and I'm a bit stingy kind of thing. I won't pay some of their prices for the food.
It's extortionate, isn't it?
Yeah, take my own these days.
It's like a service station on another level, isn't it?
Yeah,
price-wise.
The build-up was a strange one this year. So I was going to do a talk with Harrier. I started doing some work with them on the social media side. And so I was going to do a talk with them. I did a talk for them last year. Happy days. Harrier, it's really good to see them grow as a brand, and I'm happy to get involved. And then I was also doing the, I think they still call it the Trail and Ultra stage, which is headed up by the Bad Boy Running lot, and that has been since day one, I'm pretty sure. The sponsors changed, but the presenters have stayed the same. And yeah, it's quite funny, really, because the week leading up to it, it's one of those things which I say yes to, but when it's the week of it and it's a Saturday and you're there all weekend, but I almost can't, I don't want to.
Yeah.
And it sounds bad because I'm in a good position where I get asked to do this stuff.
Yeah.
But also, it's like a big chunky of time to go and do this, and yeah, I'd rather be at home with the family, to be honest.
Yeah.
And the first couple of years, you either put up in a hotel or I got a hotel, but now I'll just do it in one day and drive. And this year, what made it really good, what makes me keep going back is I'll meet up with good people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll do my talk, but then I'll also meet up with a couple that are working the stands and stuff, and then I'll go home usually. Whereas this time, we had Rich Gilly come in.
Yeah.
He sent me a message probably a week or two beforehand saying he was thinking of coming along. And I said, look, if you come in, let me know, because I'll stick you on the VIP list. It made it sound good, but literally, if you're doing a speaker gig for certain stages, you can just request a couple of tickets.
Yeah.
But it's nice to take him along. And then, so we were organising going, and on the Thursday, I get a phone call saying, oh, mate, I think it was Thursday. Yeah, because I was at kids' football, and he goes, oh, my van's failed the MOT and stuff. And I said, well, if you want to get to a train station, I'll happily pick you up.
Yeah.
So that was the deal. On that Thursday, was it the Thursday? No, the next day, the Friday, Charlotte was going for a tattoo with Rich Lazenby, who we...
Because we were filming in Rich's
We
studio,
filmed in
weren't we,
Rich's
both?
tattoo
Yeah.
studio, and we're good friends, and she'd arranged to go and get a tattoo with him on the Friday. So, yeah, she spends the afternoon with Rich. I've arranged with the other Rich that we're going to the running show. I'm picking it up. And then Charlotte walks in the door and I say, how'd it go? Let's have a look. It's a nice little tattoo. And she said, oh, Rich was a bit disappointed that you couldn't come because originally I was meant to go, but Wilder wasn't very well, so I stayed at home with him. I said, oh, it's all right because I'll see him tomorrow, because in the meantime, he's arranged to come to the running show as well.
That's mad because it's not his vibe either, is it?
All he's ever said to me is, yeah, it's not my vibe, mate, it's not my vibe. And I said, it's not mine really, but, you know, you kind of have to do these things. And it's just so... I
Done
say
a full U-turn on it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I say to Charles, it's all right, I'll see him tomorrow. I'm picking them both up from the train station.
Yeah.
And she says, are you joking? All he's done is spent the last couple of hours laying into the running show and how it's not his thing and how he'd never go and stuff. And by the time she's got back from Sheffield, he spoke to me and he's coming. So yeah, that's it. So I said, right, randomly, I'm picking him up from Stoke train station, which is still an hour away from Birmingham, but from where they are in Sheffield, that's the most convenient place. Pick them up, get to Birmingham. And I'm literally 5 minutes away from Stoke, and I get a message through on WhatsApp. Don't worry, I've got Apple Play, so it came up. and it's Rich Gill saying, oh no, it's Lazenby, sorry. 2 dicks on one train. And it was like, oh, I think we've got on the wrong train.
Oh, God. Chuckle Brothers.
Yeah. So
Jesus.
I don't know how they've done it, but they've gone past Birmingham and they're heading south.
Oh, my God.
So I give them a call. I was like, where are you going? I'll just divert and go to the next train. Just get off and I'll pick you up. Because I thought they'd missed the Stoke train station. They hadn't. They'd gone in a completely different direction.
Are you kidding me? Where they ended up then?
I don't even... The place they said, I can't remember, but it was basically an hour south of Birmingham now. So I'd have to go to Birmingham. Anyway, long story, slightly shorter. They get off that train and divert themselves back to... They ended up at the NEC before me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they'd had to pay a lot
more. So in the
now.
meantime, you're driving around.
Remember, I've diverted to Stoke.
Jesus.
So I'm in Stoke.
Oh, my God.
I'm in Stoke, so I said, well, I'm going for a coffee and a shit then. So I did, and I got myself a coffee, used the bathroom, and then diverted to NEC. But yeah, I'm literally in Stoke at 8 a.m. or whatever it is for absolutely no reason. And then get them to met them literally outside the ticket office to pick up our tickets.
Jesus. It's
and
hard work.
We'll probably pick up the story later.
Yeah. It's a couple of extra kids looking after there, isn't it?
Yeah, and obviously it's great. It made it a good day because I am meeting a lot of people, and again, I'm privileged to loads of people want to say hello and have a selfie and all. I love that side of things.
Yeah.
It's but the whole experience of the running show, it's like an assault on the senses, and as soon as you walk in, it's like
when you first go to like somewhere like Times Square and you kind of get there and you're like a rabbit in the headlights, literally, aren't you? And you don't know where to look. There's so much going on.
Yeah.
All your senses are heightened. Everybody, like certainly in your position now, is trying to speak to you because they recognise you. By the way, we'll come back to the Rich story in a bit because it's not ended, has it? That because I mean that was getting them there.
Yeah,
but
that's just getting them. We haven't even.
We'll
got
talk about getting them back home in a minute
because
it does. Yeah, it does. The plot does thicken with that.
I forgot to ask them how much those train tickets cost though, because we were trying to reduce the cost by me picking up and stuff, and then they've ended up. Trains aren't cheap, are they? Especially if you get on the wrong one. So. And
then the fuel cost for you as well, and the time and everything. But
yeah,
I mean, it's all good,
right,
because like
right,
we love the lads, and it's good to see them.
Yeah.
But yeah, you must struggle to walk around the running show and not bump into people you either know or want to speak to you.
Yeah. Yes and no. It's funny that hall, because you can go into like the half or the quarter of where the road running lot are.
Yeah.
It feels like, and no one will say hello to me. And then if I'm anywhere near the trail and stuff, everyone wants to say hello to me.
It is a bit. It's broken up into sections, isn't it?
Yeah.
And like patches, as it were.
The first time I went, it was probably 90% at least road running themed and stuff like this and brands.
Yeah.
And then the trail running stage was just stuck in the corner, and they had a real problem with health and safety stepping in because they just underestimated how big trail and ultra was getting, I think.
Yeah.
And their stage really drew a crowd, and it was literally like 2, 3, 4 people deep of standing room only and the stage wasn't big enough for the trail and ultra. Now it's a massive part of the show, obviously. Yeah.
I mean, you could argue they need even more space now, don't they? 30,000 people over the weekend, you said. I mean, it felt a lot.
I mean, if you notice behind the stage, like the trail and ultra and things like that, and behind like that VIP wigwam kind of setup at the back, there's loads of space in the hall behind that.
Yeah, they'd almost blocked it off, but I think they almost need to open
people
it
are just paying
Yeah.
per like meter square.
Yeah.
So no one's getting given space there.
No.
So literally everyone is paying for their little block of
Premium retail.
Exactly.
space.
So, and I know how much people are paying. I know how much the smaller stands are paying. I know how much the bigger ones are paying. So yeah, there's no one's getting given an inch. Put it that way.
No.
So I think that might be what they may need to change in future, because just give people, especially even if it's just around the stands and the stages, where people can congregate a little bit
of
more.
overspill almost.
If you notice in the middle where that Adidas cafe place was, it was dead a lot of the time.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, but all that is obviously prime real estate.
Yeah, it is definitely.
But yeah, it's big business. Obviously they have to drive. It is a business. What you don't want to lose sight of is though what made the running show different in the first place. I think was the quality of the speakers and the theme of the speakers, and it was speaker led, and then there was brands there, obviously off the back of that almost. Yeah. If you just end up with it being just another expo, it might not be the same vibe at least.
I mean, I think you just need more space as well for these talks, because yours was rammed full. Everyone I looked at was rammed full. We had some good speakers on, including yourself, and yeah, I just felt like it was hard to even get anywhere close to listening. So maybe they should extend it and just give more seats.
Don't know too much ins and outs of that point, obviously, but yeah, you're right. It's what's it like being there as representing a brand or being on the trade kind of side of things?
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird place anyway, isn't it, the NEC? Like that whole, because I'm there for a full weekend, so I got down there Friday night and didn't leave till Sunday night. It's a little bit like Las Vegas in a way, but not in a glamorous way at all. I mean, I'm not saying Las Vegas is glamorous, but it's glitzy.
Without the strippers,
isn't
and
it? Yeah,
chicken wings.
Minus the strippers. It's a bit like that, because you've got a casino there, you've got like all these. I was in the big kind of retail space where you've got the hotel, you've got all the kind of TGI Fridays and your North Face shops and everything, and around it's a weird place. So I tried to go for a run Friday night. I managed to do like about a 5k, but it's not pretty running. Like I found it a struggle to try and get a run in,
because you're even allowed to. It's weird just to get out of the place, isn't it, and find somewhere to run.
It's just not a particularly nice place, is it? But yeah, so there's that side of it. But then also when you're working it, you're doing some long days. I mean, people look at my Instagram and they see the glitz and the glamour and the places that I go. And don't get me wrong, like
do they?
I do, not that place anyway. But they'll always look at like when I'm in Spain or where I'm running, and they'll think, what a lifestyle, what a job he's got, and it is amazing. But then you are doing a long day and long hours. Like I probably do 60 to 70 hour weeks, and I'm not getting the violin out here, by the way, like because I do enjoy it. But that weekend, you're not stopping. So when you're working on a stand, you're kind of up 6:30, 7, and you're not finishing till sort of 6:30, 7 at night, and then you're absolutely knackered, and it's rinse, repeat, go again, and you're trying to squeeze a run in, and then when you're actually working on the stand, it was so busy, like people, and it's great because I love that. I love talking to people. Actually, we had some great feedback about the podcast as well, which I'll go on to in a minute, but it does drain you. And then the other thing as well, I always fear these weekends, it's not just the social battery, but there's some really good people in the industry that I get on really well with. So a lot of the marketing managers and who work for the different brands, we all know each other. I know them really well, and they're all there. So it's kind of a social event for us as well. So like Friday night, I had a few too many beers, which didn't help. So you've got what I call the three powerhouses of like social drinking in the industry, and that's Graham Johnson at number 1 for Mizuno. I mean, that guy is something else. Like he's relentless. He's just a real character.
Who's he
amazing
from? Mizuno?
Guy.
Don't know it.
Mizuno, mate.
Yeah.
Graham Johnson is the man. Like the Mizzy Rascal, the original Mizzy Rascal. He's from down south, so he's got a bit of chat about him as well. He's just a really likeable guy, but man, he can drink. So if Graham's there, you're having a late night. Then add James Kenyon from Salomon into the mix. Mate, he's up all night. And then put Andy Norman from Ultra in the mix as well. And I was out with all three of them on Friday, and I just could see where this was going. They ended up going to the casino. I called it a day about 2 a.m. and I'd been drinking steady. But I mean, Kenyon was trying to get me drinking at like tea time. So I was going around the NEC after I'd finished setting up, asking people if they wanted any help, just so I didn't have to walk past the bar that Kenyon was in. Not because I didn't want to see him, just because I didn't want to start drinking at tea time. And I'm not a big drinker, so I had like sort of 5 or 6 pints, but that is my limit. But then the next day,
I saw him
mate,
Saturday running around with Solomon's stand as well, and he said he was basically just getting coffees in all day.
God, yeah. I mean, he was there in a brand capacity, but also he was there for a bit of social crack this time. I've worked events with him before, and he can do both. He can go out and stay out all night. And do you know what? Andy, Graham, and James all can. Like them, it's unbelievable how they can go out until all hours, drink loads, but then get up the next day and just like be fine. And I'm dead. So Saturday was a big struggle for me, just because it was lack of sleep more than anything else. But then it's a relentless day. You're going straight into, full day talking to people, but then you're not getting much time to recover, and then you're back on it again the next day. So I found it hard work, but loved it. And honestly, the feedback I got from the pod was good as well. I had people coming onto stand saying, "Oh, your podcast is brilliant," and which is really nice to hear, because at least we're doing something right.
People are asking me, like, where's Ben? Like, we're not here as a couple today.
We've not arrived together.
Like, he's on the Merrill stand. He's not hard to find.
I had a lot of people asking the same, coming over and saying, "Oh yeah, where's Gary?" And a lot of people asking about the dogs as well. So like Pete's become a little bit of a celebrity after the last few episodes. So asking where he is. I mean, let's be honest, Pete is a nightmare in this house, never, let alone like NEC at a trade show. Can you imagine him running around? He'd just be eating shoes, shitting on the floor, he'd just be a nightmare.
It's weird. People ask me, where's Eric? Bringing him here.
Exactly. He's definitely not the occasion. Definitely not the occasion. But no, I had some really good feedback. In fact, there was one moment where it was halfway through Saturday afternoon, and this lady came over. We were chatting about shoes. She tried a couple on, and I'd sort of bent down to help her put a shoe on, and she looked at me and said, "I recognise you." And my first reaction when anyone says that is like, shit, they've seen me on like Crime Watch or something. I always get defensive and say, "It wasn't me, somebody else." But then it took her a few moments, and she went
in the back of a taxi.
Yeah. I was trying to worm my way out of this, thinking, "Where's this going? And eventually, she was like, "Are you on a podcast with Gary House?" I was like, "Yes, I'm on a podcast with Gary." And then we got talking. It was quite funny, but it was nice that it wasn't just a bloke that was listening to this, because I think with a lot of my mates listened to it, and some of our banter's obviously like quite blokey. But my
mum loves the running show. She said, "Say hi."
Oh, brilliant! But it is nice we've got some female listeners as well, and she was very complimentary. She was talking about the dogs. She was asking more about you than me, to be honest, which I get a lot.
Dogs are a big hit, aren't they?
Definitely.
It's an easy win, I think. The whole show, like, I still overall think it is a good thing and stuff. It's just, parts of it I don't enjoy as well. Yeah. I don't know about you. I seem to think, and I've seen this feedback from others as well, so many stands and stalls with like nutrition companies now, gels and
there's a lot,
electrolytes and all this.
There seems to be more of that, I would say, than actual running product like footwear and apparel. Yeah, I thought exactly the same thing.
Like, how many different gels and stuff can there be? Yeah. I mean, there was definitely a big part of that hall where I was walking around wanting to look at stuff. I was like, it's just gels and fucking electrolytes and stuff here.
It is a lot. I had a few of those. I mean, they saved me actually that Saturday morning.
Yeah.
That and about 5 coffees.
There's always, I can't remember the name, I should have remembered, but there's always a good flapjack place. I'll just buy a block of flapjack and that'll get me through.
Yeah, just keep you going.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to look around all the stalls? Because I didn't for the first day. The next day
I did put yes and no, because there was some people I wanted to see, like James Elson stuff's always, and the Centurion Lot Drew are always on the Petzl stand, so I'll try and get to them. And then there's others that I wanted to see. Seen the lads at Varga, like their setup was next level kind of thing in terms of what I loved about their setup was they'd made it look like an actual store, and they had music playing. It was like being in Zara, but a cool Zara kind of thing, and it was just busy. I mean, it sounds like an advert, doesn't it? Because they've supported me for a long time with the hats. But what I like about them is you'd think, well, a hat is a hat to a certain degree, but they've kept pushing like the tech in it. They've kept improving and stuff like this. And to see their setup there, and it was like a nice walkthrough and just really good music playing, and they'd obviously thought about it. It wasn't just a load of shite hung up, or a rail for people to like TK Maxx. It looked really good. And I think that's the way forward for people in that show. Yeah,
shout out to those guys, because I know they were there in the build up to the running show, like obviously making that stand look really, really good, and they did it look premium. And I tell you what, because I'm not sponsored by Varga, so this is definitely not. I'm not dropping this in, but that new range of caps they've got, and I did get one actually, because it fit really well. I'll probably wear it on a future episode. It was is that night range, the reflective night range. I tell you, it's worth checking out, because I've got one, but I've not had a chance to see the reflectiveness of it yet, so I feel like I'm underselling it. Like, I wear it quite a lot because, like you say, it fits light. Love it. I just haven't seen the actual reflectiveness of it, but I've seen it. Yeah,
that's
true. Actually, I've only seen it on other people, but I've been wearing it to the office because it is just a nice day cap as well. In fact, the reason I'd seen it and went over is because Lazenby had one on. On that day, and I thought, it looks pretty good, that. So I went over and got one myself. It's really, really good. But no, I think they've done a great job. I felt a bit
embarrassed because Ellis, who's one of the founders, it's the one day I was in a rush leaving for the run show. Like, you've seen me how many times have I got a Varga hat on?
Oh, all the time, mate.
Constantly, yeah. But they supply me with Varga hats, so I love them. I'll happily wear them. That one day, I was just rushing. I just didn't grab a Varga hat, so I had like a Sergio Tacchini like old hat on.
Brilliant.
So the one day I should have been wearing it, I just forgot, if I'm honest, and just grabbed the nearest hat. And
I mean, to be fair, you've been repping on the pod with the Varga, haven't you? So
I'll happily since they cropped up, I've happily support them, and they do the same. So to see they're flying now, they don't need me, but at the same time, I like supporting them.
Mate, that's always a good ploy though, when you go somewhere like that and they feel sorry for you then, and they say, "Oh, you've not got enough caps, here, have some more." I remember once the first time when I was, and one of our listeners, Adrian Hope from Innovate, he'll be laughing at this when I say it, but the first time I ever turned up at the Innovate office, and this is genuine, going back like over 10 years, and they're based up at Staveley in the Lake District, I'd gone into the office to sort of like start the sponsorship deal with them and just kind of familiarise myself with the product and meet the guys, meet the team, and I turned up. I thought I'd better wear some Innovates, and I genuinely bought some. You won't remember these, I don't think, but they had these Rico like sandals, like open. They were basically like dad sandals, but you could kind
Innovate sandals.
Yeah, they were Innovate sandals. So they were like almost like trying to think of a similar brand. Teva, like Teva, the brand. That kind of like one that you'd wear on holiday, or you could wear it to go for a walk with the dog, kind of thing. They were kind of open, but also like quite secure. I had those, but with a pair of white socks on, and I just quickly put them on before I went into the office, and I just finished work, so I had like some school trousers on. I looked like some homeless person, but I genuinely think Adrian gave me more kit that day because he felt sorry for me. But to this day, he still mentions these bloody Rico light sandals and these white socks. I mean, it did nothing for my fashion sense, and he was posting pictures everywhere of them.
I missed those ones,
Yeah, no, they were good. And I bought them, and it was the only ones I owned at the time that were kind of not fell shoes. I couldn't just turn up in fell shoes because they were caked in mud and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was quite funny.
When you're there with Merrill and everything, because I know from people speaking to me, and I think what a lot of people don't get is some brands can't just turn up with truckloads of stock, can they? So how does it work? Are you basically showing people the new range and shoe, and then hoping to like send them to the website and stuff like this, or how does it work? Like,
yeah, no, it's a good question.
Because ultimately you're there to sell, aren't you?
Yeah,
all brands are,
definitely,
and it's how you do it is I think is important. So whether you've got speakers, whether you've got like your stand, again, your stand looked amazing, but anything sports shoes and when once they're involved, it looks good. Yeah, so that drew me to it anyway, and saw Si there and stuff. But it's like the whole stand looks good. Do you find people are coming to buy or to find out about shoes, or what from your point of view?
No, it's a really good question, and there are different ways that people are retailing there. So, like for example, I know Salomon were there, and they were retailing with physical stock. I can't remember which retailer they were with. It might have been Up and Running, I think. And they were literally selling there and then. You could take the shoes away.
Yeah.
And with us being an online retailer, we don't carry the physical stock to these events, but we have started to sell at these events. So the way that we did it this time, and we've done it in the past with Salomon, and the way that we did it with ASICS at the running show as well, was that we were taking orders on iPads. We did like a special discount code for that weekend, and we were basically showcasing the range of shoes for Merrell. So there were 3 shoes within the range: Skyfire 2 Matrix, Long Sky 2 Matrix, and Agility Peak 5, which makes up the whole of the range, basically a shoe for every distance and kind of terrain. And I think it's really good for us to be there with someone like Merrell, because I think Merrell, personally, I really rate their shoes. And I'm not just saying that, giving them a plug. I genuinely do. And I think they're one of the most underrated brands on the market. And I know you asked me before we jumped on the pod, like, what are they actually like? Honestly, they are really good. And I think once you get somebody in a pair of Merrells, because we were letting people try them on, it's a sort of shoe that they kind of would buy again. And that's the thing for us. It's just about getting people to get the right size, get the right shoe for them. Because I had people asking me what they would think were really obvious questions, but questions they needed to know, like, what is this shoe for? And I'm so honest. I'll say, look, I know you like the look of the shoe, but honestly, it's not for you. That is for lightweight racing. There's not enough structure and support or cushioning in that shoe for you. I think you'd be better in this shoe. Or likewise, I think that person will be better in this. So having those honest conversations is what it's all about for us. And then people buying the stock like there and then, like, but getting it delivered that next day then.
Yeah, see, for me, that's a good thing. One, nobody wants to order stuff and then send it back, really, do they?
Definitely,
like if it doesn't fit and stuff like that. So I think sometimes that's probably a bit of a barrier for people trying new brands and stuff like this.
Yeah.
But also, like, there's no difference to just ordering it there and then and having it delivered to your house.
Yeah.
Plus, you don't have to carry around a bloody pair of shoes all day. Because I heard a few people moaning about, not Merrell specifically, but just brands in general not holding stock and stuff. But at the same time, you can go and physically touch them and feel them and get the right shoe for you, and then it's at your house the next day. It's not...
Exactly. You're not having to wait.
That's quite a good way of doing it, really.
I think people are just so used to having stuff like now, aren't they? We live in this society now where, and I mean, Amazon is just become such a staple part of our lives, aren't they? Like, I'm part of the problem as well. Like, I know if I'm last minute with ordering stuff, or I need something right now, because I love to just get stuff right now, I'll use Amazon. And I think people are used to that, aren't they? That kind of like, I just need it right here and now. But there's nothing wrong with waiting. But it's really useful for us to just try and educate people as well, because we don't get that chance to speak to people. Like, we've not got any physical shops.
I think some brands struggle, especially in trail and ultra and stuff like that. From my point of view, I think sometimes their first shoe or couple of shoes coming into a market sometimes aren't great. So then people are put off for too long. Yeah. Like, I always think that of North Face, because I remember years ago picking up a North Face and trying it and thinking, I'll be honest, this is not a good shoe. Whereas now it's completely different.
Yeah, it's taken them a few seasons to get there,
They
hasn't
probably
it?
think that the same. And I'm talking quite a few years now with North Face. Yeah, so it does take a bit of time to get right, but you've got to get shoes on feet or get people
you have
to feel them and stuff.
And you're right, until they launched Vective in 2021, they didn't have any good trail shoes. I'm just going to be honest there.
Yeah.
And I think they knew that as well, but they have now, and they've developed it. And I mean, we'll probably talk about their range of shoes in future episodes, because they were the first to bring carbon plates to the trails, and I know a few people have been asking about that particular topic in trail shoes. Is it worth it? We'll come on to that later. But yeah, the range now is really good. But the Merrell range, similarly, is exceptional. Like, it's really, really good, but people just don't know that Merrell do trail shoes. They just think, I've worn Merrell for hiking before. So the amount of people that said that and then came and tried them on and then bought them, massive. So I think it's really good for brands to be there and just be honest with people as well, because I would never try and sell a shoe to the wrong person, like the wrong shoe to the wrong person, if that makes sense, just to get a sale.
There's no point, is there? Because part of the, I imagine with a brand as well, is you want people to come back and buy another pair and another pair and another pair, whether it's a specific brand or whether it's sports shoes as a whole. So if you get a good, if that person has a good interaction with Ben selling a Merrell shoe and the Merrell shoe works out for them, then you'll come back, won't you?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there's no point in just selling one shoe and then them never coming back, really.
Yeah, exactly.
But what do you think what do you think of like the whole speaker situation? And did you catch any of the talks? Maybe not.
Yeah, that was it's the only drawback of like when you're working on the stand like that. You just part of the cog in the machine, and you never really get a chance to experience the event. So I'd like to know what people who were listening to this thought of the event, who came just as kind of to see it and to shop and to experience the talks. I didn't. I wanted to come and see yours, and there was another
same
one.
Old shit, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had some good feedback from it though, mate. Yeah, people were saying it was really good. And then I wanted to see Harry Jones as well and Jasmine Paris. There was lots of talks I wanted to see. And it was good to see David Miller there as well. Did you manage to get to see any?
I didn't know. I think if I go back in future, I might just go back and enjoy the talks.
Yeah.
Because there was people I want to listen to and stuff, and or just meet, or people I know as well. The only talk I managed to catch was Fee Pascal's. The majority of that, because we'd arranged to have a chat beforehand. She's got a new company, Trail Retreats. We'll give them a shout out, which sounds quite exciting. And we'd never really, although I'd supported the sister Beth on her Bob Graham and stuff, we'd never met in person. So we said, we'll catch up. So we did. We caught up before her talk, and then I made an effort. I just had time to go and catch her. It's really interesting, those kind of stories and runners. But apart from that, I was, basically had a queue of people wanting to say hello. So
signed a lot of autographs.
yeah. But I did the Harrier one, which I nearly missed my own talk. I was getting phone calls and stuff. Because again, I started speaking to Holly, who was presenting the Trail and Ultra stage, and Fee had just finished the talk, so I went up to chat again. And time went away from me, and I meant to be talking at 12:30 for Harrier. 12:29, I could feel a vibrating in my pocket. I was like, oh, it's Kate. Oh, I'm meant to be over there. So I think they had a bit of a panic.
I bet, yeah.
But I went over and did that talk, which was, basically an extension, a shortened version of the podcast we did about my injury. They wanted me to talk about how I dealt with injury. I think it went down all right. It's hard, isn't it? Because those kind of talks, I find a lot of people are there to see me, but there's also a lot of people that don't know who the hell I am and what is this talk going to be like. So you kind of have to, I'm a bit more toned down maybe, but...
Speaking about the injury as well, like after that episode went out, when we really talked in depth about what you've been through, like a lot of people messaged me saying like how much they loved the episode for a start, but also how they didn't realise how bad the injury was, myself included, because I was like saying, oh, you'll be all right, Gary, just run it off. Like when you were sort of telling me about it in depth, I was thinking in my head when we were sat here and we did that episode, I thought, oh shit, like I've really not been sympathetic enough to like how bad this has been for Gary, and I didn't have an understanding of just how serious it was. So I'm sorry about that.
I know,
but it really
it's hard
hit
though,
home,
isn't it?
It is. And
we didn't. That episode as well, it was meant to be about a mixture of injuries, I think, or that's where I thought it was going to end up. But once I started talking about it, it was, may as well just go from start to finish, and that filled the episode. And it's like you say, it's been quite good, because now I can just point people to that if they ask, because I don't have to bang on about it, and we're coming out of it hopefully. But I had a lot of people come up to me and say similar, to be honest. And it's if people only know you through Instagram and stuff.
Yeah.
But I've got close friends. Like my closest friends got no clue how bad it was, because you only speak to them on WhatsApp, don't you?
Yeah.
It's like, well, I haven't been able to walk for 3 months, but you don't really say that. You just just send in memories and stuff.
That's true.
That talk went down well, I think, and then I moved on to the Trail and Ultra stage, and it was a different talk. Some of the questions were obviously prodding me, I think, trying to get a rise out of me against certain topics and stuff, and then it would completely change. They had a list of random questions, so but again, I had some good feedback on that. It's not like they're asking me about brain surgery, is it? It's running and either my own story or advice. I've been doing it long enough.
Yeah,
you can fire any question at me, and that's the main thing, I think.
Speaking of which, mate, we've got here the Coach of the Year award.
How's that ended up here?
Yeah, so that's been a...
Did you take it home?
Yeah, I took it home. In fact, I'll tell people about the story about this. So after the Saturday of the running show, everything shuts down, and then all the people who were kind of working the show go over to the main stage, don't they? And there's this award ceremony for different topics.
Don't know how it works.
Gary won't have any idea because Gary wasn't there. He was there somewhere in the vicinity, but he wasn't there. And I'm sat down, sort of listening to these awards being shouted out. One of actually Sports User nominated as well. We didn't win, but I thought, God, I'm going to have to get up here if we win. And I wasn't prepared for it at all, so I would have done. But then you were nominated for Coach of the Year. And I was like looking around thinking, where's Gary? And then you won it. And I was like, get in. So I let out a bit of a cheer as well. I was obviously like buzzing for you. And then I thought, shall I go up and collect this award? Because I could obviously realise straight away that you weren't there. And then I thought, it'd be funny if I did, but then also, like, would they give it to me? I'd look a right dick when I, like, they wouldn't actually.
So how did it go? They announced that I'd won. Did they expect me to be there?
Yeah, they expected you to be there, but they didn't tell you that were you nominated, or like they probably didn't tell you that you might win it. So you were sat in Wetherspoons when I texted you.
Having a pint with my actual athletes, which is a man of the people.
Man of the people, just where it's at. Yeah, just mixing with the regular people. And I messaged you and said, Gary, you've won an award, and you thought I was taking the piss.
Thought it was a wind up. Yeah.
You just sent a picture back of you with a pint. I was knee deep in
a burger with a pint at the time.
In Wetherspoons. And then it wasn't until like James Elson sent you a message.
Drew, yeah, Drew said, you've won an award, mate. And it was. So, it's a weird story behind that because we can laugh about it now and it is funny, but the whole thing was just a bit of a farce, wasn't it?
Because you're going to tell us about the social media handles now, aren't you, that they used for the running show?
No, I don't. And I'll tell these stories because I've given them the feedback since because they asked for it. And honestly, I'll underline this with I support the running show, Mike, and what he's done, but yeah, there was just a comedy of errors on their part. Honestly, just a complete shit show. But it's the best way I could. I mean, it either matters to you or it doesn't. So I have to say, it is all in good fun, I guess. But this goes back to last year, and I got an invitation on Instagram to their international expo that they're starting. I don't know if it's through them or whatever. Anyway, hi Gary, we'd love you to attend this. I think it was in Amsterdam. So in fact, certain brands are going, and it was the first one, and you were being invited as an influencer, essentially. Yeah, we've covered that, though.
Not a coach, then.
So I basically said, all I said was, could you send me an email with the information, because things do get lost in this Instagram messages, if I'm honest. Send me an email. Anyway, I didn't get an email, but so I got an email with the information, and then I went back to her with the days and times I'd be available. Didn't hear anything back. So just right, okay, whatever. And then just before the event, I got like a flyer into my Instagram inviting me to it, and I didn't know if are you inviting me now just to attend as a guest. I just didn't know what was going on. So again, I just put back, can you send me an email and we'll sort it, because it's for me to go to Amsterdam for the weekend, it's like, it's nice to be asked, but it would need some organisation, and I'm not going to go if it's just to look at stuff, to be honest. Anyway, didn't hear anything about it, and the event went on. When it got closer to the run show, with Harrier, it was through Harrier, and I know Kate from Harrier really well, and it was all done very well. With the trail and ultra side of things, it's basically Dave Hellard sends you a WhatsApp, can you do this? Yes. And then you turn up. Didn't speak to him beforehand. I was there 10 minutes before the show. No one was there. No one told me about any of the questions. Didn't know what my talk was called. And then I realised the talk title was from last time I'd done it.
Oh, Jesus.
So it's just, I mean, I'm sure, it's well organised and everything. But I just think if that was my first time doing it, I wouldn't have a great impression. No feedback after it, apart from the people that actually attended, which is what matters, I guess. And then, leading up to the run show, you get asked for a little written profile. And I think I sent you the profile that I'd sent versus... I didn't realise everyone had put chapter and verse, and I just put that runner from Instagram who... I don't know what I put. Anyway, it's a sentence.
Yeah.
But they asked for your social link, so I gave them my handle for everything. Same. Gary House _
Oh, so you actually provided the correct handle?
Well, they just asked for your handle, yeah. So on Instagram, TikTok, everything, it's just at Gary House _ so it's not difficult, it's the same one. But the links that they then provided, and again, I got sent these, so it wasn't me going, oh, let's have a look at my links. Someone sent, have you seen this? It takes you to, it was Gary Wong.
Gary Wong?
Yeah. So I thought again, it was in my Instagram. So I was like, is that a joke? So yeah, you go on the Running Show website, click on my social Instagram, and it was Gary Wong. I'm sure he's a great guy and everything.
I really wanted him to collect your award, mate.
I know. And then on the TikTok one, it was another random one. On the it was some old guy. Do you see that?
Yeah, what was the one that there was like an Indian guy as well, like in his 50s?
Yeah. Yeah, well, that was it. Yeah, he looked like some radical extremist that was going to turn up. And then the YouTube one was something else. So there was 3 random ones. Which it's not a big deal, is it? I don't know how many people are clicking on it, but at the same time, what I didn't want is people thinking I'd done that.
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah. Thinking you were taking the piss, sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Especially like the extremist guys.
I mean, it did make us laugh because we had a
good laugh with it and everything. Yeah. But anyway, in the lead up, some of the people that I coach, we'd all agreed we're going to nominate Gary this year, because last year the running coach one was basically a popularity contest. So you self-nominate or get nominated, and then you basically push yourself forward for votes, which is how some of these things work, isn't it? Great marketing for the running show. Yeah. Because if you get a couple of big accounts saying vote for me, obviously. Exactly. That's how these things work. Yeah. So I didn't get involved in any of that, so naturally didn't win anything. But this year we thought, right, well, they've nominated me, so we'll see how it works. Yeah. So I knew that I'd been nominated, but then didn't hear anything. The day before it, one of them stuck in the WhatsApp group that I coach. Oh, look, you've been shortlisted. So there's 3 of you being shortlisted. I said, oh, that's great, but no one's mentioned it to me, so I definitely haven't won. So didn't know when the awards were, didn't know about these drinks, didn't know that I'd been shortlisted, definitely didn't know that I'd won, obviously.
Because usually you get a bit of a nudge off the organisers saying, like,
you
probably should be there, shouldn't you? They might not say you've won, but
I'd imagine if I'd won an Oscar, they'd tell me, I don't know how it works.
Exactly. You could have even filmed a video, couldn't you, like broadcasting from Wetherspoons live.
and we joke about it, but at the same time, like, I don't know, it would have been nice to be there. Yeah. Charlotte, my missus, said she sometimes wants to come, but almost like it's going to be a busy day and stuff like that. But she said she would have liked to have seen that. So there is some parts of it where I think, it would have been nice to have been there, obviously, and get the award, just because I could have had a bit of fun with you lot and stuff. And I know we did after the fact, but like they couldn't find my award. They didn't even. It's just the whole thing that didn't seem very well organised, to be honest. And I'm only saying this on the podcast now because I've given them that feedback. They asked for it, and they've apologised. And honestly, although sounds like I'm making a big deal out of it.
No, but these are important points out there. I mean, it was it gave us something to talk about.
The award should be, if you're going to make something of it, then get people involved, and almost maybe get people that aren't just involved in the show as well. And I don't know how they would work it or whatever, but like what I will say is the guy that presented me, I can't remember the company, I should do, but he presented me with a bottle of gin and stuff, and he was a lovely guy, and he was like, I love your stuff, and so that bit was great, and it is good to be recognised, I guess.
Like right at the end, I was with you when he gave you the gin, but he forgot to give you the award, and I knew there was an award. I was like,
because you were going, I know there's an award, but
I'd seen it.
They didn't know where it was. They didn't. It's just
I mean, we made the best out of a bad situation, didn't we? But
exactly. So those points probably, and again, it's I don't know if the artist geezer Russ Cook and Mo Farah are kind of going without this stuff, but they should look after people that are in the community year after year after year after year, is my point of view. And that's not just me. This is the feedback from other speakers, other people that attend these things that are there year on year. You shouldn't lose sight of them.
Well, the general public are coming to see you and those types of people out there. Let's be honest. That's the long and short of it. They want to come and be inspired. They want to listen to the talks. Obviously, they want to look around the stands as well. But it's a big part of it, and they should. You're absolutely right. Look after people. I mean, from a brand perspective, we really struggle with the Wi-Fi as well, and we're trying to retail there. Mate, the Wi-Fi is dog, absolutely dog,
heard that,
horrendous. I mean, I was having to hotspot from my phone to the iPads, and we missed out on a lot of sales. And like, this is a big setup. Like, they should get this stuff sorted. So that
stuff
really
like little
surprised me.
things. Like, I know because I've been around it, and I know a lot of people from the brands now. And it's not. I'm not going to take a big shit on the running show, but there are things that they probably need to keep an eye on, like the Varga guys.
Yeah.
They paid a premium for a premium location, and then they just Adidas whacked a van straight in front of them.
Yeah.
That big massive Adidas Transit.
Yeah, I saw that.
That kind of thing, and they're pushing people to sign up for spots for next year when this show hasn't even finished. I know for a fact that this is happening. Yeah, so they're going around canvassing and telling people you need to secure your spot or the price is going to go up. Yeah,
you're paying a lot of money.
And this stuff matters, I think, because the longevity of the running show itself will live and die on how the running community feels about it, I think.
It will, definitely. And it is a great event to come to, isn't it?
It is a great event.
Really good,
It sounds like I've just had one of my normal rants and moans, but yeah, there's good sides, there's bad, and I think it's good for the people that come in, understand how these things work. Like, brands are paying a lot of money to be there. It's not like people moan about different brands not being there, it's not like you just get an invitation. You guys are putting a lot of money in. It's obviously the manpower, it's obviously the organisation of it all. It's a big effort from everyone.
It's huge.
So
the planning that goes into it, and that's another thing. Like, from my angle coming into it, obviously working the event with a brand and with the retailer, like the amount of time to prepare those stands, build those stands, get products in. I mean, good example, that Mizuno stand, I don't know if you saw it, looked incredible. Like, it really stole the show in my mind.
That really
Varga looked really good. Asics looked really good. I mean, the Merrill stand obviously looked really good, and we did a great job, I thought, on the sports shoe stuff as well, because we sort of come in almost last minute to sponsor this year. We'll try and go bigger next year. So there's a lot of work that goes into it to make it that, and I just think, if Running Show takes on some of these points, it could be even better next year. Like, it's a really good event to go to. I'd recommend anybody go, definitely. I'd like to, like you said, go as almost like just somebody visiting next year and experience
probably,
it.
Unless someone pays me a big whack, but
Yeah.
I'll just go as a punter maybe and enjoy it and have a coffee and
spend some time together. Because the other thing as well is we wanted to, we'd made a plan, hadn't we, for Saturday night to, so we're going to come back to the two dicks on the train.
Two dicks on a train.
The Chuckle brothers, right? So we'd been texting all week and we were really looking forward to catching up, and we'd arranged to go out for some food, have some beers afterwards.
First of all, you'd invited me out on Friday, hadn't you?
That's right,
and I had to let you down on that.
But you said, like, I could stay Saturday, and you'd rearranged a few things, and I was going out with Merrill on the Saturday, and I said, Gary's going to come with us, so I was looking forward to like having a meal together, having a few beers, not going wild, but just spending a bit of time together, and then staying over Saturday night. And all that went to shit, didn't it?
You booked a room for us and everything.
I had, booked a room. Yeah.
I think it's the first thing I said. You said, no, I've got a room if you want to stay.
I'd run the bubble bath. Like roses on the pillows, everything. Prepared it.
But yeah, Rich and Rich, like they're good. I'd class them as good mates now. So
they won't mind us taking the piss.
No, they won't mind that.
They'll love it.
And they won't. Yeah, and I obviously it was no hassle my end either. But yeah, obviously, so they originally I was meant to pick them up from Stoke. So obviously they've got a return ticket from Stoke to get back to they're in Sheffield. So we said, we'll go to Wetherspoons, have a bit of food. I saw some of the runners that I coach and stuff. It was nice and relaxed, and then I'll take you back because you're right. I was originally meant to go out for a few drinks with Ben and everything, but because it just so happened, I'd said that I'll take him to the train station, and kind of forgot that the train station was Stoke, not Birmingham, because I thought I could drop him off in Birmingham train station, then come back to Ben. Not I need to drive an hour away to drop these two twats off at the train. So I said to Ben in the day, I said to you in the day, I'm really sorry, mate. I'm gonna have to be a letdown again, and I hate saying like letting people. Not that I'm letting you down. You're still going out, but I thought I would have a few beers, and when I floated the idea to them, it was like I could see it was like we all want to get back. So anyway, not a big deal until the fact, obviously, the curveball of the award. Yeah. So we were due to leave Wetherspoons, and then we went back into the hall, which was another thing. I'd given me VIP wristband to someone else. we'll say, so they could use it for the next day to get free coffees, basically.
Yeah.
So I couldn't get back in the hall originally, and I had this big entourage of people now to come and get my award. So I've got the two dicks, I've got the Imogen who I coach. I'll get you in, don't worry. Just won Coach of the Year, what are you on about?
Don't know I am.
Fucking security wouldn't let me in at first. Like, what are you talking about? Here's my Instagram. No. So I literally just had to get up the PDF of my ticket. They let us in. But yeah, quite quickly time moved on, and the lads go, how long does it take to get to Stoke? I said about an hour, I think. The train goes in an hour, so we literally had to just wave bye to everyone, peg it out to the car, or fast walk to the car park. We weren't running, and I had to drive as close to the speed limit as I could to get to Stoke. Got them pulled in at the train station, and I think they had less than a minute to get on the train, so they nearly missed another train. And I just got a message saying, "Oh yeah, Rich knocked into some woman and some guy was going to hit him." Or something. So I think, to be honest, they had a worse travel than I did. But
funny though, isn't it?
Yeah, good story. Yeah.
I mean, as it happened as well, and I know we planned to go out for some food and have a night out. I'm not joking. I had some food with Meryl as planned, and then afterwards I was like, right, I'm going to have to go to bed. I was so tired. And
you got to do it all again.
Yeah, so I was going to go back, watch Traitors final, watch Match of the Day. I couldn't even stay up for that. And so I went to bed, and I missed my run streak. So the run streak is over for January. Yeah. So yeah, it's one day I missed.
On the Sunday?
On the Saturday. So I managed to go on the Sunday morning. I had a great night's sleep though.
Should have strived at the run show, then you could have.
Yeah, I should have done, mate. I've never thought about that.
There's going to be some absolute weapons that have done that.
It did cross my mind as well. There is, and we need to hunt them down, don't we?
Yeah.
Someone will have the local legend, won't they? For
either that or 48 hours on the treadmill.
Yeah.
I'm not going down there.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
I couldn't think of anything worse.
Oh man, fair play. Like, yeah, that is some effort in it. I mean, I'd struggle to do half an hour on a treadmill, so fair play to Sophie Power there for that one. Jesus, that is an incredible achievement. But yeah, I mean, I think we should probably leave it there, shouldn't we? Like, I'll finish by saying,
the
run
lads
show.
have left, so we must have either bored them or we've gone well over time.
Chris and Ben have just gone for a bit of a break now. They've taken it upon themselves. So yeah, the run show, National Running Show. Great event. Recommend anybody go next year. Hopefully the Wi-Fi will be better next year. Hopefully me and you will be there and we'll be able to spend a bit more time together. But until then, we'll see you next Tuesday. Was that Wednesday episode, Chris?
How long was that?
It was just an hour, so I've got time.
Happy
Right.
days.
Oh, nice one. I had a feeling we'd gone like way over there.
Only in the last bit, I thought, I can't even remember what we started talking about.
In my head, I think we covered everything. I was trying to mentally go through as we were talking. I do this, that, because I obviously want to get the award in, and the Rich story. That was good.
I forgot a few things, which should probably best leaving anyway, to be honest. I think I laid into them a bit too much.
No, they'll find it for them, I'm sure. That was good.
Yeah.
Fucking starving now, my
There's the highlight,
stomach
though.
was
2 dicks on a train.
2 dicks on a train, love that. Well, we can call that. That can be the name of the podcast. Can we put that on there?
I'll look forward to what Jacob comes up with.
Oh, classic.
Yeah, I'm starving.
Yeah, let's get some food.